Somebody should have been dead.
I'm going to call a special meeting to order at the time, Rocky?
6:40.
6:40, and Bob Neff, number 32, will lead us to the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll go to item 3, and this is turned out to be better news than we thought. Mission 22A is the bridge across the brook that goes to the old armory, and it needs to be replaced. So we applied for a state program that was an 80-20 program, and I was putting it on the agenda. Well, we got a call from the state that said if we sign up right away, they will get us the extra 20% from another fund. So, so I took the liberty of taking that, and I put it on the agenda tonight, really just to make sure everyone agrees that we'd rather get 100% than 80%.
There's no stipulations, right?
Wait,
Yeah, so-
let me think about that.
So, the way it stands now, we're going for 100%. I guess if by some reason we don't get the extra 20, we'll come back to it. But there's only one condition, and that is that the state, design it, rather than us hiring them to design it.
Like the label.
Well, if
That's
that's
another
stipulations, then
thing.
yeah,
That's not a bad thing.
No, that's fine.
All right,
So you get an extra 20%
just to be
and you
clear,
save
I
on design
already
fees.
sent in the application, and we're just announcing it, and we're, I guess, ratifying it.
Is there a specific time frame that it has to be completed in?
It's ASAP, I mean, it's,
Okay, I know it needs to be done, so, but when the state gets involved in designing it, could be a year to design it. Yeah, that's all.
understood.
It's free, it's free.
Okay, let's go to item 4.
Motion that the Board of Mayor and Burgesses adopt the following resolution approving the Borough of Naugatuck's application to the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection for a declaration of environmental land use restriction and grant of easement and certain subordination documents, and to authorize mayor on behalf of the Borough of Naugatuck to execute ELUR application and subordination documents as if read.
Second motion.
Okay, so by way of background, this is hopefully the conclusion to parcel C. There needs to be an environmental land use restriction. There were quite a few obstacles along the way to get that done, including a change in state regulations and other factors. But at this point, and then there was some easements in place that weren't there initially that have to be subordinated. So, so to get everything done, this is the final agreement that we will submit to the state, record the restriction on parcel C, and hopefully that will be the end of the matter.
There can't be much because everything's under pavement.
Why don't you make that argument to DEEP? To me, it's overkill, but it's required. Lawyers are telling us we have to do it this way. I think it took way too long, but this needs to be done. It was in the original agreement of sale that we would undertake this, so we have to finish it.
Gotcha.
You look like you have a question. Oh, okay. Any questions? Discussion? All those?
Roll call.
Thank you. Charles Marenge.
Yes.
Timmy from the well.
Just wanted to see if you were there.
Yes.
Kim? Yes.
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Yes. Rocky?
Yes.
Bob?
See,
Dorothy?
C.
Megan?
Yes.
All right, so it's all affirmative with 6 yeses and 2 yeses in the language of Spain. All right. Next item.
Motion that the Board of Mayor and Burgesses adopt the following resolution authorizing the Borough of Naugatuck to undertake programs and projects authorized under the Connecticut City and Town Development Act to assume and to exercise as appropriate all the rights, powers, obligations, and privileges under said act, and authorizing such other actions as may be necessary to implement the purposes of the act as if read.
Second motion.
Okay, so the act is one that enables us to, I'm going to say do whatever it takes, but, you know, to be creative, to make arrangements, to try and make downtown and the surrounding areas better. It helps us with obtaining state funds, federal funds, and will be helpful in the finalization of parcels A and B. It could also help on anything in the downtown area, TIF district, things of that nature. So what we're really saying is that there are housing issues. People, you know, we look at our housing authority, because, you know, we need more housing. So this gives us powers to do more than we could normally do to address any of those issues. Now remember, all we're doing is implementing, giving us the power to do more. Anything we do, of course, has to come back here and get a favorable vote.
So this authorizes us to buy property strictly for that.
Buy, sell, lease, rehab, make deals with developers. It allows us basically to do anything to enhance housing-related issues in the market.
For 5 years.
For 5 years. Questions?
Roll call.
Roll call. You are almost indispensable.
Tell my wife that.
All right, Charlie,
Yes.
Kim. Yes?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
Yes. Rocky?
Yes.
Bob?
We.
That's an affirmative. An affirmative in French. For the record. Dorothy?
C.
I thought it was Portuguese.
Affirmative in Spanish. Megan?
Yes, I don't know any other language.
Okay.
I took French when I was in high school.
They took the 2 I know.
I was gonna say, we was reading my
The
book.
vote is unanimous.
I was in French class for by mistake one year. I'm supposed to be in history.
Okay. Conrad Street, we discussed this in executive session at our last meeting. And this is essentially a two-part.
Mike Bronco just.
Mike Bronco, okay, let the record reflect, Nancy, that Mike Bronco has entered the meeting on Zoom.
Thank you.
So, Tarpon Towers, right now we have a cell tower on the water towers on Conrad Street. The towers are unsightly and are very expensive to remove. They're about 170 to 180,000 per tower to remove. So the arrangement that we discussed is one that we would undertake in two parts. The first part would be to enter into an agreement with Tarpon Towers, T-A-R-P-O-N, to remove the two tanks, take down the existing tower on one of the tanks, and build a new tower in its place. In so doing, they are paying for one tower themselves, and the cost of the second tower, which is estimated to be $170,000, would be deducted over time from a lease of the tower. Included would be our tower, rural equipment would go there, other providers would go there. Subsequent to that, and when that is done and in place, if we so desire, we could consider selling the tower. Our broker who's working with us wants to do it in two steps, even though Tarpon Towers would be interested in buying the tower, but he wants to have an open competition and have all the big players involved in the process. So right now, what we're doing is we are entering into an agreement with Tarpon Towers to take down the two towers, build a new tower on our property, and rent it from us, which will be done and put in place, at which time we will reevaluate what to do with the tower.
The second tower.
The second tower.
So we say that if we build a second tower, the lease payments for whatever entity goes on there will pay for the cost of us building
Yeah, so
over time.
So we would still, we would still take in money every year, but we would take in less by the $170,000 being deducted over a 20-year term.
So they're removing the water tank.
Thanks.
They're empty, they were abandoned.
Oh, yeah, no, I know
How
that.
we wound up owning them is a mystery, but
So
we
they're
should.
removing those and putting in cell towers.
We're not, no, there's a cell tower on one water tank.
Okay,
So we're taking down the existing cell tower and two water tanks, and we're gonna have one cell tower in place of the one cell tower and two water tanks. So in other words,
so there's basically,
this is a creative way to get rid of the tower,
Clean up the property.
clean up the property.
okay, so there's already a tower there.
There's already a tower,
All right, that's all I need to know.
So would this have to go through a siting council?
yes.
Tell me what that means?
So the siting council is a state agency that regulates all cell towers in the state, and
Oh, okay.
it supersedes local zoning.
I got it,
Pretty much.
yeah,
There should be no problem, because it's already telling us there was one there already.
Right.
right,
We're just cleaning the property up and making it look better.
I know this question
No,
is
makes
gonna
sense.
Well,
probably,
what we're trying to do is clean up the property without spending any money.
Yeah, those tanks are huge.
Right.
yeah, no.
the tower that's there now, and I know it's coming, so I know you guys are gonna roll your eyes, but the tower that's there now, how old is that tower? Like, is that a 5G tower that's there now? Is that what they're gonna be putting in? Do we know that?
Maybe it's a 1G. That's how
Um,
old it is.
so I'm not sure. It's old. When I say old, it's,
Could be older than you,
Who
man.
knows how old?
Well, if you have AT&T and you're in that area, so many things are.
Yeah,
So, even if it is, this might not make sense, but if it's older, we're not gonna replace it with an older
it's
tower.
gonna be brand new.
It's gonna be state of the art.
Yeah.
So either way, if it's old, it's gonna be replaced with state of the art.
Correct,
Okay, and we do know that.
yeah. And we
So
do
So
know,
honestly, it doesn't matter.
we
if
also
it's
know
5G.
it'll be helpful to the borough for our own
Right.
equipment.
Well, I was
45
asking
feet.
that more for like the
6G.
environmental purpose of like,
Oh, okay.
I know it's my crazy tinfoil hat brain, but the 5G versus the lower Gs, there has been people studying what that's doing. Like environmentally, that's just sort of where my concern was with what's there now versus what might be coming there. Like long-term
Right,
damage that we don't really know yet.
right.
I know it's a silly like tinfoil hat thing, but
I don't know if you should refer to yourself that way, but okay.
I know, I appreciate that. I do it before anyone else has the opportunity.
That might actually be a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I know ultimately it's a money maker for the borough, my brain goes to health and,
Yes, it's moneymaker, but
Wellness.
it's also gives you better service.
Yes.
And
which is
with-
important too.
With most people getting rid of their
Plus they're getting rid of
landlines,
those ugly
you want
tanks.
that, right? But, you know, you're,
Get rid of the
your
ugly
concern is
tanks.
legitimate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're gonna put a hat on.
decorate it
The
for
only
Christmas
way I
time.
knew where Howie's mother lived was those green
Don't
tanks.
do that,
Yeah.
girlfriend.
so I will entertain a motion that I be authorized to enter into an agreement with Harpin Towers in order to allow them to remove the two towers and construct at Harpin's expense a new tower on the area where the water tank is, where the tower exists. Further allowing for us to enter into a lease with them where they would pay us initially, and this is before people are added to the tower, $16,800 a year initially, with an escalator clause of 2% a year. And the second tower, the cost of that would be deducted over time, so that we would receive less per year, but it would still be positive. The two towers would be gone, and we would then entertain adding to the tower, putting borough equipment on the tower, and possibly selling the tower.
So moved. That was a long one.
I was gonna say.
I'll just take that back for a second.
I take it back for a second.
Nancy, do you want me to, I just wanted to get everything in the record. Do you want me to restate the motion in a simpler fashion?
You could do that, or I could listen to the recording and get every word you just said.
How about just agree with
All right, we'll go
Towers?
with the recording, right?
Yeah.
So moved.
So moved. And a second from Burgess Rosenblatt. Any questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 7, I appoint Jack Ganu, 99 Clearview Circle, Naugatuck, as a member of the Naugatuck Housing Authority, filling the unexpired term of Maria Fidalgo, term to expire 10/1/2027.
Did Maria retire?
Yes,
She's been there a long time.
yes.
I'm
Yes.
liaison to that, we could use people.
And Jack's a good man.
Well, he's got construction
Yeah,
experience.
absolutely.
Yes.
And they definitely
Oh, yeah.
need that.
Yeah, definitely can use that. Yeah.
Do we need an executive session?
I mean, not really. I mean, I put it there, we'll we'll go in for 5 minutes.
Yeah, the Yankees are playing the Mets in 5 minutes.
Motion to recess to executive session at 7 PM for discussion on the following: real estate Naugatuck Industrial Park Section 3, Riverview Mobile Home Park, parcels A, B, C, and pending litigation.
Second motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
7:09.
All right, I'm gonna reconvene the meeting at 7:09. And we will go to the next item.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See.
Burgess, comment?
See you.